Hello there, this is Francis from Generational Wealth Academy. Even as I promised, I'm just basically going to go through the process of taking a trade, based on signals sent out by options domination or any other options signal provider. In this case, we're going to be using options domination. Let me just quickly go there. A signal came out about 40 minutes ago. It came out about 9:01 GMT, which is basically about 42 minutes or 41 minutes ago. Going by this time, you can see the time here. It's now 10:42. It says 9:01. Well, obviously, I am, doing this recording in the UK, and we know, it's 9:01 plus 1 equals 10. Well, in a nutshell, we are GMT plus 1. So whenever it's 9 o'clock here, it's actually 10 o'clock in the UK. So you can see we are 42 minutes into the trade, which obviously might make it a bit risky to take the trade now. As we can see here, the strike price is way above what it should have been, at the time it was sent out, which is good, which means we are going to win this trade, even though I haven't taken it, but well, options domination and those who take this trade or who took this trade are going to win it. Here it was 0.69253, and here it's 0.69382 or thereabout. So obviously they're going to win this particular trade by a mile. Now let's just go to the unit of prosperity binary option signal, and you can see here it's the New Zealand dollar USD. You can see what let's see if we can move this a bit. Okay, you can see what the price is now. It's definitely in line with this one. Well, more or less. Obviously there tends to be a difference between the MT4 price and the broker's price. But going over how I take the trade, you can see what we call the super signal here. That is this white and pink arrow and the yellow dot. We call it the super signal. There are times when you wouldn't see the yellow dot, you wouldn't see the arrow, you would just see the dot. But that nevertheless is still a super signal, maybe not strong enough. Here I'm sure you can see just about the arrow, but the dot is not there. I would say before you take the trade, always make sure that you see both the arrow and the dot. Now, it was a trade that had a 1 hour expiry. What I would have done is to come to this bit of the MT4 to check whether the super signal was there. As you can see, the super signal was there at the time the trade was issued. Let me just do this. If we go all the way down here, you can see what time it was there. Just watch my cursor and the line there. So it was issued at about 11 o'clock or so, or thereabout. So you can see my MT4 is actually GMT plus 2, but that's when it was issued. Now, I would then cross-check, with the time frame before the 1 hour, which is the 30 minute. You can see the super signal is there as well. So on the 30 minute, you have the super signal. On the 1 hour, you have the super signal. What this basically tells me by going to the time frame before is to see how strong the price action has been in the last 30 minutes or so. So you can see the super signal was there. The super signal was there then. And coming to the 1 hour, the super signal is there as well, which means it is a strong upward movement on the price. Hence we can see here, looking at this compared to the strike price set by options domination, we are way in the money, which is good. So even though I was late to this trade, I haven't taken it, but as a matter of fact, let me see if I can take it now, just to see what happens. I might lose it, but options domination would win it because they took it on time. Like I say, you can see I am 47 minutes late to the trade. I should have taken it at the beginning, but I was busy preparing this video. But I am going to go on now and take it, and we will see what happens. We will see what happens in the next 15 minutes or so. As a matter of fact, okay, I will take it now. I don't want to confuse issues. Let me just take it now. Take a call and see if it still wins, even though I am 47 minutes late. Okay, we can see here I'm currently out of the money. I'm now going to be going in the money, but we'll see. I will stay. I will hang on till the end of the trade to see what happens. Let me just choose that there. So we can see I'm currently in the money, but let me just go back to the UOP binary options indicator. So when it comes to taking a trade, I will check to see if I have the super signal confirming let me pronounce that differently, confirming that there is an upward force pushing the price up, which means the bulls are in control. Now if you look at it carefully, you will see what's been going on. The price action has been going down up until now. The bears were in control up until now, but all of a sudden the super signal popped up just around when options domination sent their own signal confirming the trade. I basically use this to confirm the trade. If I see the super signal coupled with other things, I might not be able to go through everything, but I'll just go through one or two of them. I will usually check to see that the candle is also usually outside the Bollinger Band. Now this is the lower Bollinger Band. I do hope you know what that is. This is the lower Bollinger Band, which is green, the upper Bollinger Band, which is red, and the middle Bollinger Band, which is white. Now the candle is basically outside the Bollinger Band, which means if there is going to be an upward push, the only way the candle or the price as represented by the candle would go is up. The only way it would go is up. So you stand a better chance of winning or being in the money at the end of the trade when the candle is outside, and hopefully by the time it's the end of the trade it pushes in. So those are some of the ways in which I confirm. One, I see the super signal there, and two, I see that the last candle, that's the candle on the super signal here. I see that the candle closed outside the Bollinger Band. And three, you can see here, this an additional unit of prosperity indicator. It looks similar to a MACD, but this is actually, I believe, a combination of MACD and volume. So you can see the volume is on the way up. It's actually going up, which is a good sign. So that's the third signal, or the third signal. So one, the super signal. Two, the candle is outside the Bollinger Band. Three, the price is actually, or the volume is basically reducing or going up. And finally, the stochastic. You should have this on your MT4, even though you don't have the UOP license. The stochastic has to have breached the this line. Let me move this a bit slightly. The stochastic would have to have breached the 20% threshold, mark. This is when it's at 20%. This is when obviously you can see it's at 80% threshold. If the stochastic was out here, or if it's here, it means the market is about 80% overbought. About 80% overbought. As it is at the bottom here, it's 20%, at the 20% mark, it means it is oversold. Now, by buying, by clicking on the call, you're basically saying this stochastic line is going to be going back up, and that's exactly what it's doing. It might not have breached it. Hopefully you would have waited for that, but this is fine. It's already pointing up on the 30-minute chart. If you go to the 15-minute chart, you will see it's already way in. So when taking the trade, I would usually check the 1 hour chart if it's a 1 hour trade, or a trade that has a 1 hour expiry. But I would usually confirm it using the 30-minute time frame and sometimes the 15-minute time frame. At the 15-minute time frame, you can see here it's already way into the zone where I want it. That's between the 20 and the 80. On the 30, it's not quite there, but it's pushing in. On the 1 hour, it's not there yet as well, but it's pointing up. So that's the way I confirm my trade. If 3 out of 4 of these confirmations are not in line with the signal, I would not take the trade. But what is most important to me is that I see the super signal, the UOP super signal, and I see, that the stochastic has been breached and it is now pointing back up, and obviously that the volume is going in the direction it's meant to be going. This is a call, a put position we are taking here. If it was a call position, I'll take that again. This is a call position we're taking here, even as we can see on the UOP, on the options domination page, is a call positions we are taking there. But if it was a put position, obviously it would be in the opposite direction, which means the super signal will be pointing down. As you can see, it was here, it was here, it was there as well. The super signal will be up there, not down here, but in this particular case we are fine. Now let's just go back to my brokers page and wait to be in the money, hopefully at the end. Even as you can see here, even though I was about 47 minutes late, we are still in the money. So what I'm going to do now is just pause the video and wait till we come close to the close, or come close to expiry, and then obviously we would have our result. So see you soon. Okay, we are back now. As you can see, we are still in the money. The price is going down, but I hope we remain in the money. Just a few more things, to point out, while we come to the end of this particular trade. Let me just move this. Okay, let me just put this on. A few more things to share with you before we come to the end of the trade. Always note that always note there's likely going to be an end of hour effect on your price. So even though we came late on this trade, I perhaps would not have necessarily taken it unless I believed there was going to be a strong upward push in price by the bulls. Obviously that's what we've done here. We've taken that into consideration. Because what tends to happen is the price could shoot up from the point options domination issues the signal. Okay, it's just 1 minute now. We are definitely going to be winning this one. the price could shoot up at the time when options domination issues the signal, but at some point during the trade, what could happen is the price goes down. You can see we've just won that particular trade. So special thanks to the unit of prosperity binary options signal. It's something I now use a lot. I would recommend you get it yourself if you haven't got it already. Send me a private message on Facebook, and I'll send you the link as to how to purchase it, so you could have your license and be up and running with it. I suppose somebody was asking the other day, let me just go back to the page to refresh it to see if it shows that we've won it. We have won it, but let's just confirm that by going on the page. Okay, it hasn't refreshed yet. But anyhow, what basically I was saying is, somebody was asking, what percentage, what's the percentage win rate with the options domination? Now, sorry, with the unit of prosperity binary signal. Now, the truth is, you would have to, learn how to use it. I now know how to use it. When I first got it some months ago, I was using it for trading taking the 5-minute trades, and I wasn't very successful. But I have now learned over time that it's more successful, with the longer time frames, like, the 30-minute time frame, or the 1 hour time frame, or 1 hour expiry. So it's better using it for the... Sorry, that's my phone going. Just a minute. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. I had to take that phone call. Anyhow, like I was saying, someone was asking, the success rate, for, the unit of prosperity binary options, and I would say, if you use it, for taking trades based on the signals that come in, for the longer time frames, like the 1 hour expiry and the end of next hour expiry, you'll find that you would generally be more successful. But even then, like everything else, you need to learn how to use it. I would say, you could get a 70 to 80% success rate, 70 to 80% success rate using the unit of prosperity signal alone. But obviously, what I am doing is I'm using it to confirm the signals sent out by options domination. Now let's just refresh the page now and see if we have won this. Obviously we have, but let's just prove it. Come on. Voila, you see, we have actually won that trade, and we won it by a mile. That was the price that was sent out. This was the expiry price. I usually would wait sometimes if I'm not confirming it with the UOP indicator. I would wait to take it on this strike price as opposed to this. But as you can see, even though we took it on this strike price, we still won it. Anyhow, send me a private message, to get your own license, and you could be up and running. Like I say, you can actually use the binary signal indicator to take trades, even though you are not signed up to any signal provider. What will happen is, whenever there's an alert, instead of the price and the details coming up on the UOP on the options domination page, instead of the signal price being sent out, it appears here, it pops up on this small window. Anyway, bear with me, for all the mumbling today. Things have not been very smooth at this end. Struggling to get my computer working, the microphone and the screen capture. But I nevertheless believe you have enjoyed and have gained much over the last 20 minutes or so. Okay now, God bless. Bye.